Right, good morning guys. It's a lovely, bright, warm, sunny morning today. And we've got some city watch sculpting to do. So I'm going to get started pretty quickly. Just to give you a quick heads up and warning, I may have to just put the stream on a BRB for for a minute or so. At some point I've got a Royal Mail collection coming for some customer orders that are going out. So yeah, I need to get them sent out. So first off, these are the ones I did offline the other day. So we've got Mr. Elston on the left hand side. Let me just stick a buckle on the Mr. Foster's cloak. Where's my buckle? There we go. There we go. Okay, so you can see there's a little bit of smoothing to do on the hands on these, where I've done all the posing and everything else, but I've just got to refine the details, smooth them all together a little bit. So today I've got a few more to work through. We've got Josh at the pickle jar. We've got who else? Well, we've got Mr. Richard Smith. He's going to be riding a little Shetland pony. We've got Mr. Pickle. So we just unhide Pickle. And we've got me. I think that might be it. Yeah, that's a set of 6 then. Okay, and then after that we're going to be doing AJ from Winter's Tales. So she's going to be added into the group. I need to add a couple of the Discworld type characters too. So we're going to add a zombie, just because why not? In fact, I might zombify a few of them just as a little zombie guard set. We're going to add a werewolf. And of course we've got to do the obligatory big old stone troll with a ballista, like siege crossbow. So that'll be a few things to get through. Also, oh, and Mike Moans as well. Mike is going to be added to the group too, so Mike will be part of set 3, I think. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to round this set off at 6 models. I'm going to put the next set as next set of City Watch as a set of 6 too. And then I need to redo Commander Grimes at some point as well. Okay, so let's get stuck in. Let me get Rich's reference photos up, because he has sent me quite a few pictures and videos. Okay, so let's get the pony made first. Morning Rich, morning Elston. How are you doing, gents? Rich, you're just in time. We're just about to be starting on your little Shetland pony riding. Okay, I'm going to bring in my horse blank, I think, just as a starting point. How are you doing today anyway, matey? Okay, so we'll start by taking off the armour and things. Let's keep some of the saddly bits, but we'll just take the armour and things away. Okay, and now I've got something that looks like a proper horse. Sculpted like the French ladies. I like it, mate. I can't see anything at the moment because let me just adjust my screens. It's so bright and sunny outside. I've just got everything glaring off my screen. I just can't see a thing. Okay. So here is the lovely little pony that we're making. This is what Rich is going to be riding on. This is actually one of Rich's own animals. I'll say Rich's. Could well be his partner's, but I don't know what you think about this, Rich. I'm pondering just removing altogether all of like the harnesses and things. Lose all of the saddle. And what's the Shetland pony called? What's her name? Oh, I also can't see because the little one's been messing with my glasses and she's got all sorts of crap on the lens. Oh, it's not so much necessary. I was just thinking, like, just from a kind of a visual point of view. Definitely put a harness on there and a saddle and things. I mean, they're already there, aren't they? I can just tweak them and change them. But Lucy. Okay, so let's look at the face first then. So let me just turn the harnesses off. And the hair. Right, now Rich, most of the pictures you sent me of Lucy look like she's got her head like low. Is that just because she's eating all the time, or is it? Does she keep her head down when she's walking? Lucifer. There's no way that's a Lucifer, mate. That's just far too cute, isn't it? But you're just being mean there. You know what? As the reference images show her with her head down, let's do that. Let's do with the head down. Oh, right guys, hang on a sec, I'm just going to pause you a sec. This is my Royal Mail parcel collection. I'll be back in a second. Right guys, I'm back now. Nice and quick and easy. So I started using the home collections service from Royal Mail. So if you're posting anything, by the way, I don't know if you know about this, they do a thing called click and drop. You go online and you buy your postage. It works out cheaper to buy it that way anyway. You don't need to have a business account for it. You can just set one up personally. So if you're doing like eBay and stuff, or any of these kind of like Facebook Marketplace or anything else like that. But they let you book a collection for free from home. You can book it like the following day. So you haven't got to rush off to the post office or anything else. And our local post office are a liability. Like they've let us down a fair few times with like getting orders wrong and not posting things when they were supposed to, and losing parcels. Oh, I haven't put symmetry on. Idiot. So yeah, so basically, like I say, we because we've had a few issues with the local post office, we started using the click and drop service, and they just do the pickup from our house now, and it's just much easier. The downside obviously is I'm streaming and I get get interrupted for a pickup because it just happens to be when the postman's in the area. Okay. So she's got little legs. I think that sorts the proportions out. Let's go to like get rid of all these overlapping bits now and start straightening up the geometry. And she's a tubby little thing, so she's video of her chasing a sheep. Rich, I'm going to bring this up on screen because that would be interesting. Right, here we go, guys. Here's Rich's pony Lucifer chasing a sheep. Hence Lucifer, yeah? You can't call her a fat little shit, mate. She's just adorable. Right, let me get back to the reference images. See if we can figure out what's going on. She's very fluffy, isn't she? Yeah, and ironically, mammoth comes with the additional connotation of being big, doesn't it? So. Just cheers, I'll finish your guy though, mate. Let me just I may go back and tweak his head just if I need to, but let me just show you where we're at. You go, matey. Oh. Ringing a bell with truncheon in hand. Not a euphemism. Awesome, mate. Well, I might go back and just adjust the face on it then if I need to. I'd rather do the face using reference, if that makes sense. So I'll go back and do a little tweak pass on it in a bit just to make sure. Do you send them to the Facebook or the? True. through, Rich. Right, hang on. So, looks like a bloody can. Do you know, let me show you the photo here, because I was literally just looking at... Jesus Christ, the music's just got loud. Let me just show you this, because this made me laugh a second ago. I was looking at this, thinking, who's this lady with the weird dress and the pasty legs? And then I realised it was another horse standing in the field next to your pony. The idiot man. Let's just give her a little give her a little chomp going on. What else we're sending through, Rich? Let's just go and check. There's more reference material. Ah, lovely. Much better. Oh, do you know what? I need to set up a channel on the disc. In fact, I'm going to set it up now. There's a reason for this. I will explain it in a bit, but let me just put a new text channel up on the Discord server. We're going to call it D&D Dad Jokes, okay? Right guys, so I've just set up a D&D dad jokes channel on the Discord. So if you've got any crappy dad jokes that fit a kind of like gaming theme, fire 'em in. I heard one yesterday, it made me laugh. I thought I need to get this on the server. Yeah, thanks for that one, Rich. Yeah, no worries, mate, no worries. I'll start getting you posed on the back of Lucy afterwards. Okay, so looks like turn the ears round. Oops. Gonna put some like grass tufts in the mouth. She's eating. Messaging from Rich. Are you there with her now, or are you just taking loads of pictures randomly, Rich? You just got so many slots saved up on your phone. I appreciate it, mate. Thank you. Well, guys, if you're not already on it, I've just had a message pop up on my screen which just reminds me. Table Flip Foundry, their Discord server, is pretty much on the verge of 4,500 members now. When they get to 4,500, they are running a competition. I say competition, it's a giveaway. So I've contributed to the giveaway, because I always do for them. And obviously there'll be a lot of other sculptors throwing a hat in the ring and putting stuff there for you to get. So if you want to get yourself any freebie STL files, be sure to sign up there. And tell Ty Dan says hello. You don't really need to do that. I'll speak to Ty enough anyway. Oh, fair enough, mate. Isn't it always good when your meeting gets cancelled though? Hayley had a PTA meeting yesterday evening, which is why I had to run off and finish the stream early. I had to go and make sure she had the invite and everything set up on the thing. She really didn't want to be doing it, really. And then at the last minute, the meeting was cancelled because the chair of the meeting had a migraine. So to say she was pleased it wasn't going ahead is an understatement. save this because I haven't saved it in a while, and you know what happens when I haven't saved it a bit. ZBrush being as lovely as it is. Hey Ginger Ninja, how you doing? Nice random bit of Star Wars fact there. You jumped in on the wrong conversation there. Or was that just a conversation opener? Do you know what? I don't remember them. I don't remember the Jedi Starfighters, mate. Which one was episode 3 now? Is that Return of the Jedi? So aside from the last episode of The Mandalorian, I'm completely up to date on that now. And then the what do we call it? Andor. I've been watching my way through that. That's looking pretty good. And then Ashoka pops up on the watch list. I'm like, ooh, let's get that one watched soon. So as soon as I've finished Mandalorian and Andor, I'm going to jump onto watch Ashoka and see how that one's looking. And then I dare say we'll have another series of Boba Fett then, because that's got to be due, ain't it? Loads of stuff started up actually now, because I noticed Shadow and Bones back on I think it's Amazon. That was another one I need to get and watch again. I think I'm going to have to rewatch the previous series of that one now, because I don't remember what really happened in it. Come on, Ginger Ninja, you can't start a Star Wars conversation and then disappear on me. I've said this before though, at the risk of becoming vastly unpopular. When I was a kid, my dad was really into his Star Trek, but not Star Wars. So I never really had any kind of exposure to it as a kid. And it was one of those kind of things that I never really got into because I just wasn't exposed to it. I was all into my fantasy stuff by that point. Do you know what I mean? I wasn't really into sci-fi back then. So I was already playing on playing Warhammer and stuff by that point. So yeah, so all of these sci-fi things, they didn't really appeal in the same way. Love Conan and you know, Legend and what's the other ones now? Willow and all those kind of things. Loved all of those kind of things. Oh, Revenge of the Sith. Oh god, yeah, of course, because that was. Of course, they buggered up all the numbering, didn't they? Yeah, I remember now. Oh, do you know, it's been so long since I watched that one. I might try and give him a watch with my little one, see if Jacob's into them as well now. I'm getting a bit more of an appreciation for the Star Wars stuff now. Again, let's say, hot take if you like, but I actually would like remakes of the original 3 movies, just to make them watchable. Because I think there's a lot of nostalgia is what people kind of cling to with Star Wars, with the old ones, the original films. But I actually think when you watch them, I don't think they're actually that good a film. Story-wise is good. You know, the plot's decent, but the film now, I think it suffers from nostalgia and obviously being outdated and whatever else. I know, heresy, mate. But like I say, I haven't got that nostalgia to lean into to kind of make me say it's an amazing film. I appreciate the whole franchise and, you know, the world that's been created. So, you know, Force Awakens was one of the best games I think I've ever played. There's some really kind of like good stuff has come out of Star. I love Star Wars Rebels, actually, the cartoon ones, but but yeah, just those original 3 films I find really tough to watch. I can't really engage. I find Luke to be just whiny, so it just annoys me. I think the acting's just generally bad, and like I say, I think people's enjoyment of the film is rooted in nostalgia. I think anybody kind of trying to watch them for the first time now is just going to kind of go, "What the hell is this?" But equally, my little one has decided he wants to watch the Lord of the Rings trilogy. So I told him it's like, you know, it's like 16 hours or something like that from start to finish for the whole lot. And he's still up for it, he still wants to do it. Bless him. But I kind of think I'm going to get bored watching it. As much as I love it, I think I love the idea of it more than I love the actual film. Like if they'd have done it as a TV series like The Rings of Power, I think they'd have probably been able to kind of do a better job on it. But when you start trying to watch the films, and I think I said before, you know, somebody once said The Lord of the Rings is just a film about a bunch of guys running for like 3 hours with the occasional fight. And then I watched it and I was like, bloody hell, it is. It literally is just, you know, Aragorn, Legolas and Gimli running across the top of mountains. Kind of wide angle shots and stuff. And I can't kind of unsee that now. So sorry if I've just destroyed it for you all. Oh, there you go. I think I'm I'm going to leave her there. What do you think, Rich? Is the neck too long? What do you think? Shrink the belly down a bit, or? Oh, the tummy bloats further forward, is it? Okay. What the hell do I just... Oh my god. Okay. Oh yeah, I can do the underjaw. She has quite a mighty beard. It's a very odd phrase to be spouting. Yeah, I agree. There's nothing more disturbing than a bald cat, is there? You know, when you see those what are they called? It's not the Siamese, is it? Is it the Siamese? The ones with no hair. They're just freakish, aren't they? You put that next to a nice little fluffy little pony or a labradoodle or something like that. It's like it's no contest, is it? Rich, is the hairiness, does that continue down her neck or is it just on the chin? I can't really tell in the photos. Oh, I can see what you mean about the fluffy chin now. Yeah, it definitely is, isn't it? It's like she's got a full tufty beard. I didn't even notice it in the pics I looked at a minute ago. It's almost like well, it is, isn't it? It's like mutton chops, but oh yeah, guys, I don't know if you saw the update as well. We've passed the 3,000 mark on the Kickstarter, so we've got the Seymour, the carnivorous plant, has now been unlocked. We've got a kind of a living broom as the next addition to the scene. So I'll be getting that one sculpted. We're about £350 off unlocking that. And then after that we start getting into scenery type bits. So we've got bookcase, we've got I can't remember what I planned next. I'm not sure we're going to get that far, to be honest. I've got the advertising guys who are supposed to be doing the ads for me. And they kind of messaged me and said like, oh, you know, we think we can get you get your Kickstarter up to 30 grand, and then they moved the goalpost to 80. So I'm like, yeah, sure, go for it. See what you can do, but we've got nowhere on it yet. I mean, if they even get 30 grand, I'm sculpting everything. Do you know what I mean? So, but I'll do it gladly. Right. Yeah, I'm definitely not going to give her a saddle. I think that's going to ruin her if I put a saddle on. Let's copy her out. Let's pop her into the scene with the others. And then, Rich, I just need a little steer from you to tell me how big to make her. Right, so against a normal human, bigger or smaller? So we'll use this guy here with the crossbow, Hugh. He's our human reference. Okay, way smaller. That kind of size? We go smaller than that, do you think, or we? Bloody hell, she's little. Do you know what? I've just seen this picture as a scale reference. So that's a dog. So she's not much bigger than a dog, is she? Okay, so we're gonna go. Got about there, I think. Is that right? Nah, mate. No, I'm good for this. I'm enjoying the whole idea of this one. Right, I'm going to duplicate her. I'm going to put her up available separately, so I can leave her off as a have you not riding on her back as well. Because I'm sure you'll want a little mini of just her on her own. Let's move her off to the side. Kind of trousers do you want, Rich? Oh, various. I mean, if you look at Hugh over here, Hugh's got like the baggier with a little button-up cuff. Got Nerd Harler's got longer ones that are a bit baggy, and then they've got like an elasticated cuff. Elston's got baggy with a split cuff. Standard, which is what you've currently got, are these ones with the they're more tight fitting, but with a couple of buttons up the side. Then we got Ross has got the baggy ones with the split cuff like Elston. Rosie and Bunker have got matching trousers, and then Kev's got the elasticated ones like Nerd Harler, but a bit shorter. So we can tweak them up. They don't all have to be the same. So okay, so we'll stick with the buttony ones. Just had a better idea. Let's go traditional here, Rich. Well, kind of. It's a bent lance with the carrot hanging off the end is what I was going to do. But does she eat carrots or does she prefer like, apples or something? Or I suppose we've got to do carrot, and everyone will get the carrot reference. Have you ever tried the old carrot on a stick trick with her? You know you need to now if you haven't. Oh, in fact, Rich, I want a video of you sitting on this pony with a carrot on a stick. You know, just for reference, make sure I've got the picture right and everything. In fact, it needs to be a video because I need to see if it works. I can't imagine it wouldn't. That's a big old carrot, isn't it? Awesome, mate. Oops, I want to destroy my carrot. So my carrot is clearly Lucy's. Don't even know what one of them is, mate. Mate, I can't believe it's not part of your repertoire already, training animals. Everybody knows you need a carrot on a stick to train anything. Yep. D&D Rich does indeed. But I'll also add, it's mostly for printability, so it's got enough thickness that it actually works. So. It's a big ass rope, that is, isn't it? Exactly, mate. Come on, did you learn nothing from, like, cartoons as a kid? I mean, she's blatantly just ignoring you as well, by the way, and eating the grass. She's not actually entertaining your carrot look. I mean, I actually imagine this model is completely stationary, not moving anywhere, with you kind of like getting frustrated and trying everything to get Lucy to actually move. and failing. That's the narrative in my head at this bit. Oh, my hand's seizing up. That's not nice. That's it. Oh, let me just turn the heat down here a little bit. You don't even know it's on. Yeah, I can't remember when. I did it on stream, I think, though. When you sent through all the extra photos. Had to make you more blobby, remember? Using your missus's feedback. Yeah, I don't think you were in that. I don't think you'd appeared in that one, actually. Is Brian a bigger horse, or is it like a dog or something? Oh god. That sounds most amusing, mate. I imagine you weren't best pleased at the time. Does it bring you back memories? Is it the you're getting flashbacks with the sculpt? Something very weird going on with the hand there. It looks like it, doesn't it? It's one of the perks of not having to like deal with plastic and resin kits anymore. Is not having to do mould lines. I don't know why I'd be sculpting them in. Now, if I was keeping up with GW, mate, I'd just be knocking out like Primaris lieutenants all the time now. It's really harsh, actually, but on my Instagram page, I've kind of got so sick of seeing Space Marines. I started unfollowing people who were like literally just posting Space Marines. I love seeing people's painted and people's like sculpts and conversions and things like that, but like, how many times can you possibly see a Space Marine in a different colour? Do you know what I mean? It's tedious. I used to be a fan. I used to really like Space Marines. But then, like I say, it's just one of them things that's just like oversaturation, is it, or something? I don't know. But like they're just absolutely everywhere, and it's like, and they release a new one, and it's kind of like, so what? I mean, I can't get excited about Space Marine releases or anything. It's just like this jaded the hobby on for me. That did. Well, yeah. I mean, any kind of chaos stuff is even chaos Space Marines are better than, like, you know, normal Imperial Space Marines. But I just think they've been done to death. Obviously, they keep releasing them because they're their best seller, and they're great design. You know what I mean? I ain't knocking the design on them. I'm just saying I'm sick of them. Like, you can have too much of a good thing, and I think this is a classic case where they have. But again, this could just be me being a crusty old git now. Do you know what I mean? It's anybody who's like new to the hobby and is kind of like looking for their first armies, they're seeing them with a fresh pair of eyes. It's a different experience, isn't it? To like me, who's been around doing it for 30 odd years. Yeah, there's some real good stuff come out in the Age of Sigmar stuff, if I'm honest. I don't like all of it, and the Sigmarines bore me as well. Again, just oversaturation in what they're showing and stuff seems to be kind of like very much geared towards the what do you call them, Stormcast Eternals. But like when you start looking at their new orcs and stuff like that, they're ace. New orcs are amazing. Like, whoever signed off those sculpts and came up with them, they need a big pat on the back, and they should be doing more of that stuff. And I never did get them in the end, but I really wanted to pick up, was it the Gloom Spike Gits, the Goblin army for Age of Sigmar, the Goblin faction. I really wanted to pick them up at one point. I just love the style of them and the design of them and that. Yeah, totally, man. I mean, I've contemplated doing something like that of my own, to be honest, but I'm just not quite sure how and what, if you know what I mean. In fact, I was literally looking the other day. So I don't know if you guys remember, but I sculpted that Goblin base mesh. And I was going to do a Goblin release a while back. And unfortunately, the month when I was planning on doing it, or the month when I was looking to work on it, there was about a dozen other creators, including Artisans Guild, who all kind of dropped Goblins that month. And the Kickstarter for them as well. From, God, I can't remember who it was. Ash Smith, I think it was. I'm sorry, Ash, I can't remember the company name. I just know you by your name, but yeah. So they were that whole thing dropped, and I had these goblins kind of like primed and ready essentially, and then they never saw the light of day because I deferred it. But I've done what, a dozen heads. body, half a dozen different weapons. So there's enough there for me to kind of do a small goblin army really, but I kind of need to know what you guys want from like goblins essentially. Do you know what I mean? Do you want something that complies with Games Workshop type aesthetic? Not aesthetic, but like troop choices and stuff. Do you want that kind of thing, or do you want you know, D&D through and through, where we've got more of like the bugbears and those kinds of things? Yeah, Atlantis ones are good. The only thing that bothers me with the Atlantis sculpts is, again, I think as good as they are, they're over detailed for the scale. So, because Dan does them at proper 28mm, which means they're small, and like even the dwarfs, I've got a set of his dwarf heroes and I love them, but they're all designed to be cast in resin as like a single solid chunk as well. So they're all everything's quite close, and kind of loses me a bit because of the kind of the, what do you call it? Just the style of I don't know how to explain it. It's kind of the style of the casting or something like that, or the style of sculpting for the method of casting. And there's nothing wrong with that. You need to account for that. But I think it's been done in such a way that it kind of keeps his costs down for production. The elves, I love his elves. I'm definitely giving my elves beards and horns though. That's definitely happening. They are, but again, the trolls still suffer from that whole what do you call it, like clunky chunky look. They're nice models, but again, it's the level of detail on them. It's a little bit high for the scale. Like, he sculpts all the little textures and stuff on things, which is what like Loot Studios do. One of those things that always bugs me with the like digital sculptors. It's that whole thing about not knowing when to stop. Obviously, he's been doing it a lot longer, and he obviously does it to be cast and kind of to produce miniatures, so he knows what he's doing. Unlike some of them. Yeah, they are classic wood elf, but like I say, with that extra little kind of thing of the beards and stuff. I don't think I've seen his Cerberus actually. I imagine it's lovely though. Some of these big creatures are really, really nice. I mean, years and years and years ago, when I was still doing my resin stuff, there was tons of things I wanted to pick up from his collection, but they're bloody expensive, aren't they? And I know why they're expensive, because it's who he uses for casting. So I spoke to them as well. I know the guy who runs the company, and I had a word with them about doing my casting at one point, and they were pricey, man, but they do it properly. Do you know what I mean? They really know what they're doing. They're proper pros. So you're paying for quality with those guys, and that's what. Oh, does he not do the physicals anymore? I mean, I'll be honest. Anybody who does at the moment is a plonker. Like, the 3D printing stuff is so good quality now. That you don't really need to be looking at doing like physical. Oh, website's gone as well. Oh wow! He's just sticking with the branding and stuff for the digital bits, is it? Oh, well, that makes sense. I mean, I'll be honest, it's crossed my mind to do the same kind of thing. Print my minis, that was it, yeah. Couldn't remember what he'd called it, actually. Yeah, I'll be honest. I mean, that is kind of where I'm leaning into. So, what I am thinking of doing is paring back my Patreon and Tribes offerings to a couple of character models and stuff. Like I was chatting yesterday on stream, I want to kind of start reinvigorating the level up models, the modular ones I did like kind of way back, and kind of get a thing going with them. But at the same time, I don't really know how to sell them. So yeah, I want to do a few smaller like hero releases and things like that, and then basically just run like larger projects as Kickstarters. So the pin-up type ones I want to run every couple of months, so probably do 1 a quarter on them. And then in between that we've got various different cheers Rich. Yeah, in between the kind of those monthly releases, the little ones and the Kickstart, the pin-ups, kind of start working on like some armies. So I've got like the first army I'm going to roll out will be an undead one. Obviously I've already been working on bits of that for the monthly releases, and as part of the Descent into Avernus stuff, so we've done like the ghouls and things like that, and ghasts and some skeletons and things. But I've got like a load of extra stuff which doesn't feature in Descent into Avernus, but which is part of the like undead armies, if you like. Oh yeah, for sure, mate. I mean the plan. So I was chatting on stream yesterday. Bunker made a couple of suggestions, and I was chatting to Hayley about it. And it's going to rely on Hayley to kind of largely organise this, because there's a lot of rendering and product setup and stuff needed on the website. So what I think I'm going to do is basically have the different bodies as sets. So we'll have you know, level up artificer, level up rogue, etc. And you'll basically just buy the body, and you'll have a choice to either buy one or one of your choice, or all three of them as a discounted bundle. So you go and pick your body, and then we'll also then have like the heads. So you can choose whichever head you want, and we'll charge like, you know, I don't know, 50p for a head or something like that. So you come and buy the head that you want for your model. And then we'll have like one product which will be you know, level up modular arms, blades, or swords, for example. So you go on there and there'll be a load of options on there which are just for like swords. Another one for like daggers, another one for blunt weapons and pole weapons and stuff like that. So we'll have all the different options. And then I mean, I'll be honest, I'll tell you what else is happening, what might kind of take over all of this. We've got what they called? Eldritch Foundry. Eldritch Foundry are beginning to consider licensing out the software, which obviously I've already hit them up about. So if I'm able to kind of get, hey Hut Harmonies, how you doing? Hope you're keeping well today. I think the first time we've had you on here, isn't it? How are you doing? But yes, I say with the Eldritch Foundry thing, if that works out, then obviously I can use that to do the level up models. It's going to make everything a lot easier. So, hey, fair play. What are you building, mate? I'm just sculpting Rich, who's in the chat there. Rich Smith, who's in the chat. This is his little guard avatar riding a Shetland pony, which is his own actual like pony in real life, called Lucy. So it's a nice little project for me. A set of armour, mate. Ooh, nice. What kind of armour are you doing? Like, is it like leather, or are you doing like cosplay type prop building? if you're on the Discord, feel free to pop steel plate. Bloody hell, fair play. I'd love to see pics. If you got if you're on our Discord server, then definitely fire some pictures in that. I'd love to see that. I love that. I can't work with foam. I'll just go straight to steel. Anyone else would think the foam would be the easy job, wouldn't it? But no, I get you. If you're used to working in steel, then that makes perfect sense. But and it's going to look 10 times better, isn't it? Ultimately. So. Yeah, let me just. I don't think Bunker's here today. I think he's off to a vaccination at schools. Let me just. There you go. If you use the Discord link there, feel free to pop in there and grab a whole. Ah, there you go. That's lovely stuff. Yeah, fire in some pics. I don't even know if I've got an appropriate channel for that, but just fling it anywhere. See what we got. Where's the best place for you to drop your gear? We've got to share your Instagram if you want to pop your Instagram page into there. We've got self promo if you're selling anything. If you want to put your link into there. Miniature design, sculpting and modelling maybe. Lovely. Let's. Do you know? I want to have a little mooch. Let's have a little look at what you're on. Oh, nice. That is epic. That is. That's some fantastic steel work there, mate. And the leather as well. God, you're doing a bit of everything. Let's give you a follow, guys. If you're on the Discord server, give that a follow. Because these are just awesome. See, did you just post a you want an armoured knoll. Nice. There you go. I actually thought that was Dragonborn when I saw the picture on the Instagram. It's not until I've clicked on it here I realise it's a knoll. Nice minute, nice painting as well. Yeah, man, welcome to the chat anyway, welcome to the channel, and don't be a stranger. You feel free to chip in any time as well. Just we're going for the old, like, so Rich sent me a video of him riding this Shetland pony and it just made me chuckle. So basically what we've done is we're doing Rich as a guardsman. So he's my guard in the style of the Ankh-Morpork City Watch, as I envision them from the various books I've read. So, oops, that was not supposed to happen. So yeah, so basically what I've done is I've got the I've got them kind of ready to go. Made the pony, which obviously Rich has got as a little copy of his own. Did you call it a pet, Rich? Would you call it a pet? Or we should kick you. Oh, fair enough. How are you getting on with Blender? It's quite tricky, isn't it, at times? One of the things I prefer about ZBrush, just as a kind of little hat tip for you here, just so ZBrush does this thing where it fakes detail, it fakes the render. So everything here now, this whole scene is nearly 100 million polys, 96 million polys in this whole scene here. and I know if you put that into Blender, it's going to absolutely kill it. So what is happening is the active tool, which I've got here, which is you can just see up the top, 211,000 polys, and that's the cape here. So if I press the solo mode, this cape is actively being rendered. Everything else in the scene is kind of being faked. I don't really know how it works, but it doesn't use RAM. It doesn't use RAM like it would in Blender. So Blender renders everything at the same time, which means that you kind of end up having to kind of pare back your thing. For me, it doesn't work for my style, because my style of sculpting is I mean I sculpt. I don't do like poly modeling. So I say Blender for me just unfortunately doesn't quite work with my workflow. And since ZBrush brought in all of the it's more about working with the like the dynamic topology, dynamic subdivision levels, and all that kind of stuff, isn't it? With Blender, you've got to kind of get into that discipline. But for me, I use like dynamic tessellation and like Dynamesh a lot, which means I tend to end up working with high poly models. So trying to then kind of pare that back and change my workflow to work with more, let's call them optimized meshes, it just doesn't kind of work for me, unfortunately. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it if you're good with it and you're learning that way. That's absolutely fine. But yeah, and it's free, so there's a free version of ZBrush as well, to be fair, but it's quite limited. It's been pared back an awful lot. But it still might be worth a look. But I mean, Blender's changing all the time, and they're always taking a lead out of ZBrush's kind of book. And I think what we're going to probably find now is, since ZBrush has been it's been bought out by Maxton instead of Pixelogic, they're trying to move everybody onto like subscription models. I won't sign up for it. I'll just stick with the version I'm using. I'm perfectly happy with ZBrush as it is. But like the version I've got is a free for life. Once I paid once, and that's it. You know, I never have to pay again. So I don't really want to kind of go and get into a subscription model. And especially, as I say, all of the stuff I use on ZBrush that I need, I've kind of already got. So there's nothing coming that is going to make me kind of go, bloody hell, that's amazing, I need it for my workflow, because I'm kind of good on that front. So yeah, it's definitely going to end up prompting, I think, the Blender developers to start adding features that. Hey, Disguised Lion, how you doing? Thank you very much. Yeah, it's definitely going to end up prompting, I think, Blender's developers to start adding the features that ZBrush is adding, because again, like I say, all of the new features that come in ZBrush, they're going to be behind a paywall for anyone who's subscribing. So I think they've changed it now so that it's not, they're still honouring the free, the free license that I've got, where so I've paid for it once, so I don't have to pay for it again. But they're not supporting that for like new stuff. Ah, right, yeah. But have you tried doing 96 million polys? Which is what I'm running in this one at the moment. I always found Blender was lagging up a little bit when I started getting to higher levels. You end up having to put stuff onto like different layers to kind of like stop them from rendering, and then you can obviously, when you put them into your viewport and your rendering scene and stuff, you can kind of bring them back out again then. But it does mean fair play. But this is the thing, I don't even use the subdivisions. I literally start with a high poly mesh, and it just gets more and more high poly as I'm working with it. I try and keep it as low as I can get away with, but I say for the kind of stuff I'm doing, it's more about the surface quality and the quality of the detail. And I don't need it everywhere, so I end up using the dynamic tessellation. I know there's a dynamic tessellation function in Blender, so I did dabble with it and try it at various points. But yeah, for me, it's definitely a case of I've got my workflow using the tools I know, and I'm just good with it. Do you know what I mean? So, oops, that was the wrong thing. That's it. So I'm using dynamic tessellation now, so I haven't got to kind of go back over and redo the geometry. So if you see it here, we've got the original Dynamesh is this square grid, and then my dynamic tessellation is the triangles of varying sizes, and the sizes vary depending on the amount of pressure you apply at the time. Let's turn that off because I don't need it. And all I need to do then is just need to make sure I use a small enough brush at any given point to just smooth out the tessellations. If you guys want me to talk through any of the rationalisations and stuff of what I'm doing, then just give us a shout and let me know, and I'm always happy to discuss it. How are you doing anyway today, Disguised Lion? You keeping well? We had a bit of a chat before, didn't we? Were you doing that test sculpt for loot, were you? If I remember right. Oops, that was totally wrong. Let's live with that. Let's just turn this around. Let's just save Right. I'm just going to run in a house and get me, grab me lunch. And a cuppa. And then I'll be back in a minute. Okay, guys? So, let me just put you on a BRB. So, if you go onto the website there, lionstower.com, you can have a little look. We've got the first set of the City Watcher in store now. And if you pop the code CHILCON20, you'll get 20% off everything in store. And that lasts until the end of the month. Any UK orders are getting free shipping, and any international orders, free shipping over 75 quid. So have a little mooch, have a little browse, see if anything takes your fancy. And I will be back with you very shortly. So guys, don't go away. Let me just rewind that back a bit. Don't go away, and I will be back with you in a minute. Okay guys, see you shortly.